We spoke earlier in the week, and you talked about Lewis Dunk was going to be assessed after training yesterday. Can you just tell us what the latest is with him, please?
Yeah, he won't be involved in the game. It's come around a little bit too soon for him, but we're hopeful he'll start training, with more of the team, probably Sunday, I think. But we'll see how he goes. So, but not for Palace.
There's a fairly good chance, though, that he'll be available for the Chelsea game next week.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, there's more chance, but we still need to see how he goes, how he reacts. You're looking at sort of 6 weeks he's been away, so we just need to make sure taking the right steps. But not for Palace, but possibly Chelsea, and then more possibly Leicester.
And what's the latest just regarding Adam Webster? Is he going to be definitely okay to be in the squad?
Yeah, he's fine. As we said earlier in the week, he trained and he's trained again, and he's had a good week's training with us. So just precautionary missed the West Brom game, and then back in this week, so he'll be available.
You've recalled the Ecuadorian international Moses Caicedo from Beershot this week, Graham. Can you just tell us how he's been progressing out there in his loan spell, and what is your plan for him?
Well, he's played games for Beershot and for his country. Important World Cup qualification games there. So he's had some good experiences. I think that of course helps him. And then it's about him coming into our group now. That 6 months will be invaluable to him, and then he adds to us. Obviously with Enoch, probably going to miss a few weeks, we think. And with quite a packed January, February, felt like it was the right thing to do with Moises, a midfield player that can play in quite a few positions in the midfield. Still young, still learning, but we're excited about him.
And you're confident that he's able to play some Premier League minutes sooner rather than later if called upon?
Yeah. I mean, he was close, or he was impressing when he was training with us. But we just felt that at that time it was right for him to go out on loan, and especially with the amount of football he was going to be playing for his country as well, it just felt that it was just the right thing for him to do, to go and play some football. And now we're back, and obviously he's just trained today with the team, so he'll be in the squad for the weekend, and then we'll see how he goes.
More reports this morning concerning Yves Bissouma that you won't be surprised about.
Well, it is the transfer window, so there's always...
Indeed. Do you think any of this transfer talk would distract Yves, or perhaps have his head turned, or is he the kind of character and personality just to knuckle down and carry on? I mean, obviously he's at AFCON at the moment with Mali.
I think players at this level, and Yves is the same, they know that this time of year there's speculation, there's things in newspapers, etc. So it's part of what they have to deal with, and they also know that they have to focus on the football, focus on what they're doing, and let all the other stuff take care of itself, stuff that you can't really control half the time. So just get on with playing football. That's what they do.
And how confident are you that he still will be a Brighton player come February the 1st? Because he's only got 18 months on his contract, and perhaps Brighton would get more money for him now than they would in the summer?
Well, again, lots of things, ifs and buts there. I'm confident. I think Yves is enjoying his football here, but as I said before, with the transfer window, you never know. It doesn't matter what I say, you never know. So we have to adapt to anything, which we do, which we have done. You always plan for something you can't necessarily foresee. So we're in a good place, but we'll see.
Just moving on to the goalkeeping situation, Cal Sherpen spoke to BBC Sussex after the West Brom game, and he was sort of talking about how he might be looking to get some games on loan. Is there any progress on that?
Nothing to report. I mean, he did well in the game against West Brom, and I think that was good for him. It's like anything, you need the right club to come along and then still make that decision based on what's right for him and what's right for us as the team. Jason Steele's got a slight problem with his back at the moment, so we're not in any rush. But if anything comes up, we'll look at it.
And just on the game, this is the first time in a couple of years, Graham, that Brighton have played Crystal Palace at home, where there'll be a full house. The club announced this morning it's a sellout. I mean, it's a pretty mouth-watering prospect, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, looking forward to it. Exciting. It'd be great Friday night at the Amex. Good atmosphere. Two teams, I think, two good footballing teams. So I think it's going to be a good game. Obviously, hopefully we can come out on top, but looking forward to the atmosphere, especially. The one at the Selhurst Park was good atmosphere. I'm sure the one on Friday night will be the same.
Do you feel you've got a bit of a score to settle, given what happened at the last game against Crystal Palace at the Amex with that Christian Benteke last-minute winner, when Brighton had control of the game and looked to be the better side for large parts?
Not really. It's football. It's in the past. I mean, they'll be disappointed that they didn't hold on for their 3 points in the last game at Selhurst Park. It's football. It is what it is. We're just looking forward to the game on Friday. We just want to play well in front of our supporters. We understand the rivalry. We understand the passion. We want to experience that. We want it to be in a controlled way, of course. But we're excited for the game. Really looking forward to it. And
just finally, from me, Graham, it's a game of passion, emotion. It always is when Brighton play the fierce rivals, Crystal Palace. How important is it that we're talking about football on Friday night and not anything that's off the pitch?
Of course it is. It's vital. I must say, my experiences in the games there's passion, there's an incredible feeling. But at the Amex and at Selhurst Park, atmosphere's always been good. It's always been hostile, but not too hostile. I think it's been about right, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to the same again.
Thanks, Graham. Best of luck.
Cheers.
Hi, Graham. Good to see you.
Hi, Vicky.
Just going back to the draw with Palace back in September, Neil Maupay getting that latest of late winners. I mean, late goals have been such a strength for you this season, haven't they?
They have, yeah. And I think it's an important thing to have in as a team. If you remember the Manchester United and the Fergie time, so it's called, and good teams can keep going and they get things at the end of matches. It's a nice quality to have. It's also nice to get the game wrapped up early, which is something we'll try to do, but it's not so easy. That's the truth of the Premier League, and it's the truth of the game that we play. So keep going until the end and do our best.
And obviously that was quite early on in Patrick Vieira's tenure there. What have you made of their continued progression under him this season?
Yeah, I would say that it is continued progression. I think they're built on the foundation that was there under Roy. Added some really good players, some young players, some different types of player. Made I think the team more attacking, and they defend in a different way, higher up the pitch, more aggressive. So I really like what they've done. Really impressed with what they've done, and we know it's going to be a good and a tough game.
I'm just looking more broadly at your form. We've talked a lot about not getting results you've perhaps deserved this season. Do you feel that you've turned a corner in that regard in the Premier League? 2 wins and a draw in your last 3.
Well, I think what it is, the Premier League, sometimes you won't get what you deserve, and sometimes you might get a little bit more. It is what it is. I think if you zoom out over the full games we've played, we're probably about right where we are in terms of points. We can't really complain at all. We had a period where we weren't getting the wins, but we were picking up points and we were picking up good performances. So that's quite positive, even though of course the media narrative is you haven't won, but we still hadn't lost either, and we were, like I said, we didn't lose many. I think there's only 3 teams that have lost less than us in the league. So that says all the time you can just keep the scoreboard ticking over, and when the wins come, then everything seems a lot better.
And just finally for me, in terms of position in the league table, 9th, we're into the new year now, second half of the season. Just how high can Brighton push this season?
Well, that'll be a mistake for us, I think, to start to think about that now. I think what you've got to do is focus on the next match, try to win that, take 3 points if you can, and then worry about the league table at the end of May or whenever it is. Just focus on the next game between now and then.
Fair enough. Thanks so much, Graham. Best of luck.
No worries. Cheers.
Graham, how's Jeremy Sarmiento getting on? Where is he in terms of his recuperation and recovery?
He's making good progress. Physios are happy with him, but obviously it was quite a serious operation, so he's going to take a little bit of time. I'm thinking he's going to be more end of February. I think, Johnny, is where I'll be, end of February time. But again, I think with the nature of the injury, I wouldn't want to put too specific a time on it. But everybody's happy with what he's done.
A couple of players are staying at their clubs, Reda Kadra and Van Heck at Blackburn. Was there any temptation to maybe bring them back into the fold, or are you just constantly monitoring them? Obviously, both having reasonable seasons.
No, they're both having really good seasons. Blackburn, I think, are really happy with them, and I think that's important. They're playing, they're part of a promotion push. I think it's a valuable, invaluable experience. There's a risk that you bring them back and they don't play so much, and then it's a bit of a waste, even though there's extra bodies around. So it was important that we made the right choices in terms of who we're bringing back, and it felt like that at the moment those two are better where they are.
You mentioned that Lewis, it's too soon for him. I just wanted to know how you felt about the role that Dan Burn has played in recent weeks in terms of maybe leadership style as well as just his technical ability, because he seems to have been quite an integral part in the last few weeks defensively.
Yeah, and he's had to adjust to a couple of different slight positions in terms of centre-back in a 4, left of a 3. But as I always say, Dan does it with his incredible attitude, 100% professionalism, and I think he's done really well, scored a goal, which is nice for him. Doesn't happen very often, so he was delighted with that, and we're delighted with that, which is important for us as a team, that we can chip in from goals in other areas of the pitch. And then he's contributed to some results and performances, which is great, considering Lewis is one of our most important players. He's our captain, and the fact that we've been able to pick up points and get wins without him says a lot about the team, about the group.
You're missing Lewis Dunk. Crystal Palace are missing Wilfried Zaha, but they still seem to have had attacking players that have come to the fore in his absence and coped pretty well from that point of view. I mean, you say they're more attacking. They certainly seem to have plenty of threats going forward.
Yeah, but I think it's the way the team is set up. The team's set up a lot differently now, and their intention as a team is different. So there's a more of an attacking idea, if you like. That's not to be disrespectful to anything that was before, because, like I said, the foundations that Roy laid there has allowed them to add the players they have. The two centre backs, I think, contribute to their attacking game in a really good way because they're good with the ball. They can build their attacks from there. So those two have been, as much as we talk about Edouard and Conor Gallagher in terms of the attacking players, I think the centre-backs have also helped their attacking play as well.
And finally, the intensity, you've mentioned that. Does that change your message to the players before kick-off, or do you just let them go about their business? How do you treat this as a game when there's so much passion and so much on the line?
Well, I think it is quite consistent with everything we do, but you always have to acknowledge the game, the opponent, the context that you play the game in, without going completely, off your normal message. So we have to be good. We have to have a good understanding of what we're trying to do, and then we have to also understand the environment, the atmosphere, the emotion of the game, because that's also important.